Hello YouTube, and you've probably seen this list recently. This is black-white tokens. We're doing it off stream. Let's take a look at the list. Let's see how we do. Let's play it again. Black-white tokens here, blade tokens as we like to call it here on the stream in Modern. We recently played this one on stream and I really enjoyed it actually, and I think it's got some legs with what's going on right now in the meta. Now there's a Tibalt running around, whether it's a trickery Tibalt or a cosmic Tibalt, and I think this list preys on that. We're leaning a little harder into preying on exactly that list with the punch of just tokens. Now between the last time we ran this and this time, we're going to go ahead and go all the way up on the deafening silences, and we're going to add actually a bitter blossom and change the land base around a little bit for a blast zone instead of a field of the dead. And a field of the ruin has been taken out as well for an additional plains. Overall, the list is as follows. Interact with our opponents just as, say, Abzan would do, or Jund, using black cards such as Inquisition and Thoughtseize. End up removing anything that's pesky with something like Path to Exile, Kaya's Guile, or perhaps Skyclave. And then utilize Bitter Blossom or Lingering Souls to generate tokens, along with Kaya's Guile and our Planeswalkers of choice, Sorin and Gideon, to then beat down our opponents, with a little bit of help from either a Sword of Feast and Famine, Batterskull, or Sword of Fire and Ice, found all through Stoneforge Mystic. The list is definitely worth punching in, does a lot of damage, and goes super wide, something that's probably okay right now. But are those really aggressive combo lists going to beat us down? Let's find out. Let's take it into a league. This is your Black-White Tokens YouTube exclusive here on the channel. See you in the matches. Black-White Tokens. Let's queue up for a league match and let's begin. Now there's been a few things that we've changed from the initial list, and I think it's appropriate what we've done. There was some Auriok champions. I don't feel like red is necessarily the worst list to run into, as we do have Batterskull, we have Sorin, and we actually have a Vault of the Archangel as well for that life gain. The Necromentia interested me still, and I'd like to try this one more time before I'm ready to cut it. And then we've got a lot of things that just get rid of black and red, which is a predominant color in the meta right now. A few little one-ofs as well, and we actually added an Inquisition instead of an Extirpate, as I don't think the graveyard is that much of a problem. Of course, every time we do take that out, we run into Dredge. We found our first opponent. Let's play some Magic. Match 1. Black-White Tokens. And we get to play first. Always good when you have an Inquisition Thoughtseize style of list. All right, we have a double Village Rite starting hand. Inquisition, Stoneforge Mystic. We have the one of Prismatic Vista in this hand as well. Based on how the meta is shaping up, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. If they go to discard, we can get rid of the Lingering Souls. We have the Village Rites here, and we can take a look at what's playing on our opponent's side. Castle's not gonna come into play untapped, unfortunately, and we wanna see how often things like this do become a problem. Inquisition to kick things off here. There's... What? What? Well then, I'll take Thoughtseize. We're playing... You could not have planned this any better. We're playing the mirror, black-white versus black-white. So, black-white tokens is 1-0 in the league. Okay, not really. Concealed Courtyard here for my opponent. We'll go ahead and shock in so we can stay on curve. Stoneforge Mystic. We'll go get, at this point, probably just a Batterskull? I think a Batterskull is probably the better card to get here, rather than trying to get the sword, which may not get through a bunch of white tokens. My opponent does path us, that's fine, ramping us up. We'll take I guess we'll take the snow covered. Why not? These new lands are pretty sweet looking. Opponent does find the Concealed Courtyard. We have a path out of here. We have a Raise the Alarm. We have our own Bitter Blossom. All right. I don't know if I want to take damage with something like Spectral Procession coming. My opponent probably has the Intangible Virtues. We do know they have another path here. Soren's coming eventually. Yeah, let's go ahead and play the Lingering Souls. It's probably the safer thing, and I can leave myself a Village Rites open. Keeping the Village Rites open if they go after any of these spirits. I doubt it, but if they do, we at least have that going for us. Opponent raises alarm, makes their own soldiers. Mine fly, though. And it appears my opponent has not found anything. I'm pretty willing to go ahead and block these. Trading off there seems completely fine. They have a snow-covered plains here, and they'll play their Spectral Procession, I would imagine. They do. Nice. All right, we have a Kaya's Guile. We have the ability to Lingering Souls. We've got the Bitter Blossom. I know it's Path and Soren here. Let's go ahead and play Lingering Souls out of the yard, and let's go ahead and commit to this Bitter Blossom and pass the turn. I'm hoping they don't hit another land here for Soren. They've been hitting their lands pretty nicely since we took a look at what they were doing. Little Legion's Landing here makes a token. Again, one thing on the ground. I assume they're going to attack us and flip this. We'll go ahead and trade off here because we do want to keep our life total reasonable for the Bitter Blossom. Extra land. They decided playing Legion was much more important than Soren, and they can do this now with Soren. Maybe a little surprised they didn't play Soren here just to gain some life. Bitter Blossom trigger for us. We have another Bitter Blossom. I could play a second Bitter Blossom here. I think I'm going to. Making 2 a turn seems good. We're going to have to watch our life total. We do have Batterskull, we do have Kaya's Guile, and we know it's just a path right now. They can generate tokens here and here, and so this keeps us kind of on track for taking on them. They attack me with the life linking one. I'll probably just pass trying to get through with my fairy here. They make a flying token. Not going to draw just yet. Let's take a little bit of damage here. It's going to be a tough one. All right, Concealed Courtyard doesn't quite get us in there. We don't quite get past the Vampire, so we'll just pass on that. They'll make probably a token here. Raises the alarm. That's pretty good. Okay. So path. Silent Clearing. They crack Silent Clearing. And they're playing Intangible Virtue, which is a lot better than us. This is a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. All right, let's go ahead and each opponent sacrifices and create a 1/1. So these all have now Vigilance here. So we cut the Intangible Virtue because we just don't feel like that's really worthwhile here. Let's go ahead and block out, but willing to trade here. See if they want to fire off this path or not. Go ahead and take a Village Rites on one of these to draw cards. A couple Marsh Flats here. We do appear to trade with this Vampire. We're going to take 2, make 2 blockers. I'm probably going to play the Batterskull. I know that they can path it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and Village Rites available to us. We don't have another basic swamp. Let's go ahead and play the Batterskull down. I may play the land. We'll see where our life total finishes out here. They're going to probably path the Germ. We'll have 2 blockers here. We can block here and here. And if we block here and here, we take 3. Go to 4, go to 2 with the Bitter Blossoms. That'll do it. We can only block the Vampire and take 6. All right, so black-white tokens versus black-white tokens. Sword of Fire and Ice and Sword of Feast and Famine both look okay here. This is gonna be an interesting one because I really don't have much for like board wipes. We took out our one Wrath effect. I think I want to take some of these paths out for just like creatures. So Sword can come in, can maybe shoot down little tokens, just a nice buff to us. I suppose I could take some Purges in to get rid of Sorin here. And that might be better than maybe Skyclave. Giving them a 4/4 token seems a little bit awkward. We'll probably take the last path out and bring in a Skyclave here. Yeah, that's probably good. We might be okay to take one Bitter Blossom out because my opponent has the Intangible Virtues for the other Skyclave because I want to take out that Intangible Virtue. Village Rites we'll keep because we want to draw. Thoughtseize Inquisition seems fine. I don't think it's worth bringing in another Inquisition. I don't think Necromentia makes sense to name Intangible Virtue, but I could bring one in. If it doesn't show up fast enough, I could name Sorin Solemn Visitor, which would kind of break the symmetry a little bit. Kind of leaning towards giving this one another run, but I don't know if I want to take a Sorum out or maybe if I want to take like a Lingering or Kaya. Maybe Kaya's Guile here. That's probably okay. Kaya's Guile is only removing 1 token, creating tokens and gaining life. Let's do that. Let's play first. Blast Zone's a really fun one here. We'll go ahead and keep this. We do have the Unleashed. We'll see if that can get us ahead of our opponent. But Blast Zone's funny because it starts at 1. It doesn't start at 0. So it doesn't really take care of tokens very well. Opponent leads with an Inquisition, which is good for us. They'll probably take Purge or Skyclave here. This will allow us to foretell our Unleashed, at least giving us larger tokens later in the game. The Token Breaker. Starheim Unleashed. What do you want to take? It's got to be these two. Skyclave or Celestial Purge. It's got to be one of those. Takes a Skyclave. All right, makes sense. Let's go ahead and foretell. They know which card's foretelled or foretold. Sword of Feast and Famine is kind of a nice one to have. The protection from black could be nice. Honor of the Pure. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a Lingering Souls down. I know I'm risking the possibility of a sword being taken here, but having some creatures here seems like the right line. I'm assuming we're having Spectral Procession here, which is going to be a little bit of a difficult one for us to deal with the Honor of the Pure now. There it is. We'll keep working our way up here. I'm going to go ahead and play a sword and pass turn. Now they have 2/2s. I would love to use this, but I want a little bit more mana so I can at least get 2, maybe 3 or 4 would be nice. We'll definitely do a no block here and take, it looks like 6. I hope they don't have more Pures or Intangible Virtues. Nope, they just have Sorin. So everything has lifelink. They attack with one of them. I'll let the 1 through. Skyclave's actually pretty nice, but also the Celestial Purge isn't too bad to get rid of this. We could Celestial Purge and Lingering Souls, which maybe is the right play, or we could hook up here, see if they do discard. We can always get this up to 2 to take care of the Honor of the Pure too. I think it's going to be a Purge on Sorin here, followed by, I want to just do Lingering Souls here. Just get as many creatures out as possible. I can beat this. We got the Blast Zone. We also have the Skyclave that could get rid of it as well. Let's see how many more things I've got to deal with. Oh no. Oh no. Plague Engineer is pretty good. We're not running that card. Name Spirit here with the Plague Engineer, obviously. I suppose we could Thoughtseize and play a Skyclave. The Skyclave has to hit, I guess, Honor the Pure. It can't hit the Engineers because then they would just kill me in the air. Thoughtseize down to 9. I don't particularly like this. Oh, all right, that works. Skyclave away the Honor the Pure, buying me a little bit more time. A little bit, not a lot. We don't trade very well here, but we could hook up the sword in the future. My opponent's just ready for the mirror match. Let's just say that. Zealous Persecution, they get a 2/2, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage exactly. And Black-White Tokens wins here. I wasn't really planning on running into the mirror. The mirror is probably really well broken here by things like Zealous Persecution. We have Spectral Procession, which is just maybe a touch better when you don't have to pay for it twice with, say, Lingering Souls. They have the Intangible Virtue. They have the Honor the Honor of the Pure. My opponent, the Black-White Token player. 0-1. Let's see if we can do better. Black-White Tokens won. That's a good thing. Match 2, playing Black-White Tokens, attempting to not run into the mirror as we are not suited for beating the mirror. Let's begin. Let's find our opponent. Let's play some Magic. Match found. Let's go. Please, no mirror match. I will take the Tibalts. Give me the Tibalts. All right. Let's see. My opponent gets to choose. They choose to play first. Opening hand seems completely fine. We'll keep. We don't really have any double black. We have double white, though. We can go get Godless Shrine. We have the Castle and the Blast Zone. Got a nice Lingering. Kaya's. Path. Thoughtseize. Uh-oh. Please don't Inquisition Thoughtseize me. Baubles. Okay. That's fine. Takes a peek at the top of our library and Inquisitions us. Will they keep their hand a secret? Could be a Death Shadow list. Seeing a Bauble in a swamp. It's a bit of an interesting one. Could be Black Prison. Could be a Jund. Takes a Kaya's Guile. Interesting. Okay. Bauble trigger. We get an Inquisition. I suppose we'll lead with that. We'll go ahead and get our Godless Shrine here. And Inquisition, we'll worry about Thoughtseize later. Abrupt Decay and Nile Spellbomb. Well, we'll take their Thoughtseize and pass the turn. Don't care about Spellbomb. Pretty much don't care about Abrupt Decay in the near future, at least. I'll probably just end up Thoughtseizing it away. Triome played for our opponent. Nile Spellbomb. Does get to get the Lingering Souls. I could wait for 5 mana on this. Okay, we'll play the Castle. We'll go ahead and Thoughtseize them here. I can take the Abrupt Decay. There's probably better things to take. Luris is a better take. We'll take that. Now, some of you might be like, well, you had Path. Yeah, that's fine. We'll save the Path. Clearly, they're playing Luris main. Abrupt Decay gets Bitter Blossom, which isn't the worst thing, or just a token. Not so concerned about them taking a token or our Bitter Blossom. Stoneforge is a pretty good draw, though. And this is a fine path target, obviously. We'll see what they end up getting here. Gets a Batterskull. We will definitely path this. We'll probably do that right now as well. This does get him a little closer to the Batterskull. That's all right. We have a Blast Zone. We could potentially get rid of it. We have lots of chump blockers. We have lots of ways to get rid of the Batterskull. Don't worry. Lots of ways, like, you know, special ways. I'm going to go ahead and use Lingering Souls here. If they top deck the land, I'm going to get the other half of Lingering Souls. If they don't top deck the land, then we just lose it to the Spell Bomb, which is all right. All right, I'm feeling pretty okay against the list that we're seeing here. Nothing scares me too much. When it uses their Spell Bomb, decides to draw, we lose our Lingering Souls. Not the end of the world here. And do we have a land? We do. So Batterskull is going to be showing up soon. Abrupt Decay, Batterskull, and some unknown card. Speaking of Abrupt Decay targets. Oops. Let's move out of block step here before I try to make a Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom, go. Now this may look a little bit sketchy here. We have the Bitter Blossom. My opponent has a Batterskull. We're going to be working in this kind of weird scenario of life gain or not. I think they're going to fire off the Abrupt Decay though, and we can get this out of hand. And they do. Full assumptions here. We're going to see Batterskull played. Verdant Catacombs. So we have Batterskull and one unknown. Fetching. Okay. It's a basic. Okay. This would definitely be the turn to get rid of the Batterskull if we had a more permanent way to do it than Blast Zone. I would take a Village Rites here, probably. Oh, it's Spell Bomb. All right. I would take a Village Rites here because I could block and then use the Village Rites to kind of get back into this game. Thoughtseize looks like it's a little bit too late to the party here. We could create a human token and block with that. Probably want to save the Thoughtseize, save the Blast Zone here. We'll attack for 2 in the air and plan to block. Trying to keep at least the life gain to a minimum. I think we can go faster than a Germ once we find like Sorin, once we find some more tokens here. We may even take the initial hit. They do find something they're willing to use. Oh, nope. Spell Bomb first. Draws another card. Seems reasonable considering this is probably the most expensive card in their library. 2 unknowns. I think I'd take this first hit. It's not like these are going to get through. But I want to maybe make 1 or 2 of them before we start just throwing them away. Blooming Marsh and another Spell Bomb. Guess I'll go ahead and just do this now. I'd love them to crack this one more time and hit a 4-drop that they can't play. There's Sorin. Okay. Things are coming together. Play Sorin. We're going to go uptick here. This will gain me some life. We can also double or even triple block the Germ. We're probably like a Bitter Blossom away from starting to take over the game. Because we have the castle active. Nile Spell Bomb for our opponent. Draws a card and we'll draw for the turn as well. Now we know they have Abrupt Decays in the list. We'll have to see if they have an Assassin's Trophy for Sorin. If they have an Assassin's Trophy, we're in a bit of a pickle. I probably want to get my Gideon or my Foretell card. Inquisition's away our Thoughtseize. Cool. They were eventually going to get a discard spell. What's interesting here is that if they attack us, I probably just chump block at this point. I don't think I try to trade with the germ. Not immediately, at least. And there's almost no reason for them to not attack here. Exactly. I could double down here. If I do that, I would at least probably find out if they have a removal spell. And if it's a path wouldn't be bad. So let's go ahead and double down on this. Damage resolves. So they'll have to bounce Batterskull and replay it, and that's an expensive turn for them. They'll definitely do some bouncing at end. This allows me to maybe use Sorin twice down-ticked here, and maybe get to use Castle, or who knows what else. So down-tick here. Probably okay to play our Castle on the off chance that my opponent gets Liliana. We'll attack for 1 in the air and pass turn. Keeping in mind that these are 2/2s, which is super nice with Sorin. I'm not going to make a token immediately here, as I'd like to either use Blast Zone up or the Castle. It's probably going to be a Castle, though. Just going to replay it, looks like. That's fine. Shambling Vent's a good one for them. Shambling Vent's a good one. Looking for maybe a way to get rid of Germ here. We do not find a way. Let's go ahead, make another token briefly, put down our land and pass turn. Do we want to go over top? I think we'll wait. Now we're not going to gain any life if we do some blocking. They might try to do Shambling. Once again, they might have a removal spell. Peatland played. I assume they'll cantrip this using white mana. Let's go ahead and fetch. That shouldn't be a problem here. We'll go get a little bit more black. It's always good to have double black, even though it's not the most important thing. This is, again, probably just a chump block this turn. We'll chump block with the human. It's nice to have humans and vampires and spirits to avoid Plague Engineer, like in match 1. Ooh, their own Lingering Souls. Okay. Use this, flash it back here. Go ahead and make our own token. We do probably desperately need some token generation of our own. All right, Silent Clearing's a redraw. We can do that. I'm probably not bumping Blast Zone up, so we'll use Blast Zone to use the Silent Clearing. All right, uptick with Sorin or try to do this. Let's see here. This currently hits nothing. Probably want it for like a Luris or something else, so we'll probably hold this. Let's go ahead and make our token now instead. So it gains lifelink and pass the turn. The big hope here is that they don't have like a spot removal, because then they can get enough of the spirits in. The preferred spot removal would be a path, though. Would help us out. Ooh, Inquisition's pretty good. Gets to take Skyclave. Not that Skyclave was really doing a whole lot for us. Attacks with Germ again. I think we're just chump blocking this turn. I'll leave my human on defense. 30-16. This is going to be a very grindy matchup. We need to be careful of our time and keep playing at a reasonable pace. In order to play at a reasonable pace, we're trying to think of things that we would play over just using Sorin and Castle. Lingering Souls is an example. Perhaps Bitter Blossom could be an example. Maybe a Gideon or something like that. All right, my opponent's moved Batterskull to a Spirit here. Stoneforge is one of these. Let's do that. So Stoneforge here. Now we can go get our own Batterskull. And we can actually play this Batterskull, which we will do. And we will go up one more time with Soren and pass the turn. This is looking good. Now we have our own Batterskull, which can help us reset our life total. It's not going to do a whole lot, if I will, with like stopping what they're doing. We've kind of run into Abzan tokens, you know. Opponent draws a card with a Silent Clearing. Once again, we're trying to just play at a reasonable pace here. I'd love to see a Gideon, Lingering Souls. I think Bitter Blossom's totally fine now that I have a Batterskull. Village Rites wouldn't be bad. Could draw some cards. Definitely wouldn't mind drawing. Our Human and our Stoneforge Mystic are a little bit meh, only because of the obvious flyers. My opponent does find a Luris, though. I think with this Luris, they have Spell Bombs or Bobble. Yeah, I would imagine they'd just use a Bobble here. All right, so Luris is a bit of a problem here because the consistent drawing with their Bobbles is going to put us behind. Now, we don't have infinite blockers for the Spirit in the Air, by the way. I'm just going to block here because we may move Batterskull over to the Vampire as our play to defend against the Spirit. This is a little bit risky with something like... Creatures control gain Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. This is kind of a fun card. Now we could work Blast Zone up to 3. We don't have anything on 3. This may be the turn. Let's play Vault down and be sure to attack with the Germ here. I'm going to attack with the Human, Germ, and Stoneforge. I'm not using Soren yet just to try to confuse them a little bit with maybe, hey, I can trade and then Vault will get this. I don't expect this to be the case, though. Because I might want to make a token if I think they're going to come back at us and kill us. Here's a good example of where I can use Vault here. So I can use Vault. This gives Death Touch now. I know our Batterskulls are sitting on the sideline now. So I think I'm going to actually create... kind of want to create a token. Let's create a token. I know they have the Shambling Vent. We'll see where Batterskull is placed here as well. We may be just playing to get to game 2 here. This card advantage engine that they now have is really brutal for us. We can end step Batterskull to hand, or we can boost Blast Zone. Luris is probably what we need to be getting rid of. We have 3 flyers, they have 3 flyers. They also have a Luris that could kill this and a Shambling Vent. If they boot Shambling Vent up and swing with the team, then they do get the Soren. I get to eat all of their spirits, though. So the question is that worth getting rid of Soren here for me to eat your spirits? They have an active Luris. All right, they decide to put the Batterskull up on the Spirit here. Okay. Assume they're going to just attack with the 1 Spirit. Obviously, I would like to keep Soren around for a turn. Let's go ahead and block. 43 to 24. Like I said, this will be a long game. They should use Luris here. They do. A Dark Confidant. Yeah, let's go ahead and boost this up here. I'm probably going to just re-equip the Batter Skull somewhere. Well, my opponent has plenty of life. Dark Confidant definitely saves them. Let's see what we draw. We draw our own Lingering Souls. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 mana left over. We could boost Blast Zone one more time, make some chump blockers for a turn. This card engine's crazy. I think I like the idea of just doing a double Lingering Souls to make blockers. We'll boost up Blast Zone one more time, trying to get rid of this card engine. Dark Confidant's obviously a card engine I'm not too happy to see. We'll just pass the turn with a Sorin plus. Go ahead, opponent. There's all of our blockers. Enjoy. We did just make 4 creatures, so that makes me feel a little bit safer from something like a spot removal. My opponent being in black, definitely a Plague Engineer could be something that my opponent's playing. Interesting to see all these token strategies. I wasn't expecting to see these today. All right, we have a Bloodstained Mire. There's no way they have red, right? Plays Bloodstain. Combat. All right, what you gonna do? They just attack with the one, we're just jump blocking. Once again, no real reason to try to kill this with a double block on the vampires or anything like that. Decides to play Nile's Spellbomb instead of Bobble. Plays a Tarmogoyf. Okay. Well, we have to go up to 3 here. If I were to blow the Blast Zone up on 2, my opponent just rebuys everything with Luris. Let's shut down this engine if we can. Okay. Sorin's pretty nice. So we use Blast Zones 1, 2, it's 3, right? 1, 2, 3, and the Blast Zone leaving us 1, 2, 3, 4. This gives me pro black and pro green, which is nice against a Tarmogoyf. Let's do Sorin first. We're not making any new creatures here. Let's go ahead and put this into play and attach it to something. I guess I'll attach it to a flyer, preferably a vampire. Okay. We're not thinking. Now I can't use my Blast Zone. I've done this out of order. All right, let's just beat Luris on the battlefield. I think we can do it. Let's just play through here. We'll work our Blast Zone up to 5. We can beat the we can kill the Batter Skull possibly. I don't know, maybe I should kill the Luris. All the extra draws are going to be tough to beat. I bet they have another Luris. Let's play through the Luris and then we're going to just force them to draw out here. We'll get to see more of their library. We're way up on clock. Let's play it this way. And we'll work the Blast Zone up to 4 and then 5. Maybe I can make it so they can't really like tap out. That would be nice. Attack with a 5/5 again. They do. We're going to chump block once again. We like our Sorin. Every 2 turns or so, we get to make another token. After all, my opponent has to beat me too. It's part of the game of Magic, right? I love that they can't attack with the Tarmogoyf. I guess they don't have a spot removal, or they're not interested in doing that. Plays Bobble, plays Spell Bomb. Lots of value here. All right. Keeping in mind that we have our own Batterskull. We'll have to time it where we can pick up Batterskull and kill theirs and the Blast Zone. A lot of things have to go right. The other thing I can do is Batterskull onto this Vampire and see if we can just start connecting with our opponent. Let's go ahead and check what's going on. What do you have, opponent? What's going on over there? You've been quiet. Do we want to start firing off some pieces here? All right, we have a new Luris, Bobble. There's a Path that I kind of want to get rid of. So they can't, well, they could play the Luris and play 2 Bobbles. A couple Thought Seizes. So let's take this Path. Let's go ahead and equip up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uptick with Sorin here and bash in for 9. Probably get to untap. We'll see. They might jump block. That's a lot. There you go. That's how you hit like a truck. Uses Spell Bomb to draw. Maybe they can find themselves a Path or a Fatal Push here. Not a lot else to do on this turn. We'll go ahead and F6. We know Bobble, Luris, Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize. I guess I'll turn off the auto yield. If they decide to let this go through because they have 50, then I have all of this to work with. And I may want to bounce my own Batterskull for Stoneforge if they try to interact with us. It's a narrow line here. They are interacting though. We found an Abrupt Decay. Okay. Still a 7/6. Now it's a little awkward that we don't have the Blast Zone on 3, but at the same time it's pretty okay because they have an extra Luris. So we do connect for 7 damage here. Gain 7, 35, 45. Go ahead, opponent. Chop, chop. And once again, we have no interaction, so we'll F6 here, save our time, see what they draw. They do draw a Path, that's really good for them. 21 cards left, 35 for us. Very grindy matchup here in match number 2. Paths us. Take a Snow-Covered Plains. This does put our Sorin a little bit at risk here. We'll see how much they want to go at me for. We are not guaranteed, but they may not have another card here. All right, chump block, and I think it's worth trying here, doubling down. Yeah, I think so. Let's double down here. Leaving ourselves the flyers. We're probably going to down tick with Sorin, make a token, maybe do something with Batterskull. Bobble from the yard. Keeping in mind they have this Bobble in hand as well. They play the Bobble from hand. Plays a Lingering Souls. That was the other card they grabbed with Dark Confidant. They'll play both sides of this. This is still game 1. I have a feeling we might win this on time, but I don't want to speak too soon. Connects Batterskull to a Spirit. Okay, we hit a Skyclave Apparition. Interesting. So we can use Skyclave to get rid of Luris. They have another Luris. I think I could use Skyclave just to exile, say, a Tarmogoyf. make a token. So Skyclave, let's get rid of... I could also get rid of Dark Confidant, but this is going to be hard to kill. Let's get rid of the Tarmogoyf here. Let's make a token, because I think Soren is almost dead here. And let's wait. What I could do here is I could either make a human, or I can bounce Batterskull, replay Batterskull. One's going to use a double bobble, perhaps. They do. And we're just trying to buy ourselves the time at this point. We yielded this. We yield the Bob. They get a Temple Garden. They draw another card. We're also getting all the information we want. In a paper event, I'd probably have recommended conceding once they got the Luris down, or maybe a few turns after. But here, this is just more information for us. Really cool Abzan lists, so it's actually worth seeing as much of it as we can. We are at 42 after all. We could hit a couple Kaya's Guiles and start just removing. Remember, we have lots of paths. It's actually not totally out of it. We have Skyclaves as well. Kills Vampire. My opponent's yet to boot up this Shambling Vent. Let's see how aggressive they get here. So 3 tokens plus this in. Definitely no blocks now. Cool. All right, they send nothing else in. We'll just let this resolve. Soren dies. Temple Garden played. Bobble from Yard. And what else? What else? Tarmogoyf. That was from hand. Watching how much mana they have here. Plays Lingering Souls from Yard as well. We have 5. Get greedy, get greedy. They do get greedy. All right. So we have a chance to kill their Batterskull. All right, put this up to 5. We're gonna bounce Batterskull, blow up their Batterskull, play our Batterskull back down. Trying to do this quickly. Cool. So they will lose their Batterskull, which is good for us. We needed to somehow get rid of this. This is actually a pretty nice card. So let's go ahead and blow up the world. Foretell. And then we can put Batterskull down. So we have the Miracle card. This could be the breaker here. With a Batterskull coming down, my opponent drawing 2 a turn, we might actually win this. I'd like to see the end result of this game. It's gonna come all the way down to the time wire though. But with this Foretell card now, I know they have a lot of spirits here, but I can like Batterskull one of these and pretty much offset what they're doing. Burning Catacombs, Thoughtseize, and Luris. We have 2 unknowns. They play a Stoneforge Mystic of their own. What else do they have to get? Probably seeing if this hits anything as well. Poor Burdened Catacombs. Sword of Fire and Ice. That's pretty good. We're just gonna play the Sword of Fire and Ice, attach it to something. Okay. Now we're drawing so many cards. Maybe they'll shoot their own Dark Confidant here. Let's see here. 1, 2, what is this? 2, whoops. 1 and then X. 1, 2, 3. If I can get 1 land here, I can go 4 angels. That'd be kind of fun. I'm assuming we're going to attack with everything here. Yes. Keeps Luris and Dark Confidant back. So we're going to chump with the Stoneforge Mystic over here. I think I want to go ahead and chump the Flyer here as well. We'll put Batterskull in after combat here. And pretty much the turn is just play the Foretell card. We're going to take 9, but we're okay. They don't draw a card. They don't do any extra 2 damage here, at least not yet. We know most of the hand. Replays Bobble. As said earlier, they might deck themselves. Bitter Blossom's maybe a no-go here. We'll see how much I have left over. I'd only be able to do this twice. Let's do it 3 times. We're not here not to. 3 times. Make some angels. Go ahead, opponent. Bitter Blossom is a way we die faster. I don't know. I'm gonna send in the Germ. I'm gonna send it in because it has Vigilance and gaining 4 life may be important. They could chump block with Dark Confidant to stop drawing cards here. Instead, they just take it like a champ. Take it like a champ. Bobble trigger. Draw with the Bobble, draw with Dark Confidant, draw for the turn. Fatal pushes and paths are the worst thing for us to see because of the Angel Warriors being our blockers. Shambling Vent was a draw off Dark Confidant. 10 cards to 31 cards. Shambling played. They could use a Thoughtseize now. See what's going on. It's a Bitter Blossom. I don't think they've seen this card yet. Oh no, we've got one over here. It's been such a long game. I don't know what's going on. Moves the sword over to Tarmogoyf. All right. It's a giant 8/9. I kind of just want to block with the Germ, because we can always reset this. I don't really want to give him a 2/2. I'm not about that. I'm about gaining life and just drawing this game out like crazy. There's a land. All right, we'll play land here. I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt to equip. We'll probably play the Bitter Blossom down now. We'll smack them for 8. Whoosh. Whoosh. Angel. They already have Vigilance and Flying. We just gave it lifelink. Block with 8 spirits? Come on. Come on. Oh, we're doing something. Oh, we fatal pushed. They got us. They got us. All right. Bitter Blossom, go, opponent. 2 minutes on your clock. Maybe the angels won't be enough. But like I said, I think I can just live long enough that Dark Confidant might actually kill them because they draw too many cards. This game's close. All right, swing with everything. No, swing with everything. I'm going to chump block here. Give him a 2/2. You can have it. I don't want you drawing. They're going to shoot the Skyclave off anyway, or do 10 to me. The chump block seems like the right play. All right, Marsh Flats here. Go get a Godless Shrine. What do we draw? Bitter Blossom trigger. Concealed Courtyard. That's a no-go. Let's go ahead and make a token. And we can't attach this to anything, so we'll just make the token pass the turn. Next turn, we'll kind of play through our turn. We have the Vault. We may try to chump block this again. We'll chump block with Human. F6 through this turn. Another Dark Confidant. 6 cards to go. Like I said, we may be decking them. Stoneforge Mystic. That can't find anything. Can it? They have a Sword of Feast and Famine. All right. Feast and Famine makes it so I have to only chump block with humans. You got 5 cards remaining, opponent. Make it happen. This is 10 damage to block some of that. Just send the team. Sending the team, this is how you play to play quicker and ahead. This is a chump block, probably, here, with fairy and human, and then angels over here. So this is fairy, this is human. I don't want to take anything, I don't want them untapping. Bitter Blossom will probably create something, and we have enough mana for Vault because now we have the Concealed Courtyard as one of our cards. There you go. Opponent just concedes. So this next coming turn here, we draw Kaya's Guile. That's pretty nice. We can do a Kaya's Guile and a creature to make blocks. What we could also do is do the blocks and use Vault. We can hook up Batterskull trying to just take the damage. If my opponent can't find a way to get rid of Dark Confidant, they draw 2 for the turn, 2 for the turn, and then 2. We need a way to live for 3 turns here. See if you can find it. 3 turns. Kaya's Guile, Thoughtseize, and a Pathway. That was match 2, a long and grindy one. In fact, you only got 1 game. We'll see you in match number 3. Maybe we'll get more than 1 game. Hilarious. I'm back. They conceded, but not the match. They have 21 seconds. I'm going to just submit. I'm not going to sideboard. You would sideboard maybe. Celestial Purge is in here. Maybe. And I think we can go ahead and keep. Or my opponent can concede. There you go. Let me know. Keep or maul. Keep or maul. Match 3. We haven't played too much Magic. Well, we've played actually a lot, but maybe not many games. Let's see if we can get more games here. Not get such a grindy matchup. Let's find that Tibalt. Let's go. We know what we want. We know what we're hunting for. Match 3. Looks like a good keeper. Let's go. Opponent mulligans to 6 here. We have Stoneforge. We got a good luck, have fun. You too. You too, opponent. We just got off the mega grind. Ooh. Wooded Foothills. All right. We end up top decking a Thoughtseize. Super good here. Let's take a look at what's going on. All right. We have Bone Crusher, K-Command, Seasoned Pyromancer. This is probably a Seasoned Pyromancer take, although the K-Command would rebuy Seasoned Pyromancer. Makes me kind of upset to see that. I could also take a Bone Crusher Giant here because that can get rid of the Stoneforge. K-Command would prevent them from taking my probably Batterskull. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the K-Command. I don't know if I want to give them a very good option for their Bone Crusher Giant here, being that I would just slam Stoneforge. I think the next turn's maybe Bitter Blossom and try not to take too much damage through my 2 Silent Clearings. We'll find out. All right, bonus Bitter Blossom, we're all in. Let's go. Let's go. We can go Bitter Blossom into Bitter Blossom. And then we can go from there. All right, my opponent does Bone Crusher Giant stomp us. So now our Stoneforge is pretty clear. We'll see if they want to Seasoned Pyromancer or replay Bone Crusher. They do replay Bone Crusher. Bitter Blossom trigger. Okay. Let's go ahead and play Stoneforge. We'll go get Batterskull here. In the event that we all live here, I can Bitter Blossom and Batterskull off the Stoneforge, which feels good. Demonic Dread. All right. We found Tibalt, by the way. We found the Tibalt list. They take away Stoneforge. I assume they will attack. I'm going to actually have to do a no block here. I want to go after this Tibalt. Prismatic Vista's an okay card here. Let's go ahead and fetch basic. Let's go ahead and Lingering Souls. I don't want to commit any more Bitter Blossoms here. Attack Tibalt and pass turn. Now we have a chump blocker for Bone Crusher Giant, and we have a way to get rid of Tibalt. We found the matchup. Let's see if we can get game number 1 here. Upticks. We have an Inquisition. They have a Violent Outburst. So my opponent can rebuy their Tibalt here if they want. Inquisition takes the Bitter Blossom. We were never playing that anyway. Not with our life total. They're aware of Batterskull. When it attacks us for 4, this is a pretty easy block. They decide Seasoned Pyromancer instead of using the Violent Outburst. I like this. We have 3 that comes over top here, and I can play Batterskull to defend. We're going to go get another basic here. All basics, trying to take the least amount of damage. All right, so Tibalt's down. And Batterskull in. Fingers crossed they don't have a way to get rid of Batterskull here. Living Weapon. Go. All right. Decent turn here. We have 2 unknown cards. Oh, that's right. The emblem's still here. Just getting rid of Valky or Tibalt's not enough. Well, never mind. We're like, oh, we're fine. No, we're not. We're not. Oh, Do you have a way to get rid of the fairy here and kill me? That's pretty good too. I block a 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we were still dead. Emblem. Not Tibalt. Emblem. Alright. We're here to take this on though. Deafening Silence here. Celestial Purges can come in. Necromentia is a maybe for this. Sword of Fire and Ice could be a possibility as well. Skyclaves aren't as good. Now we know that they're the Tibalt version, not the crazy Emrakul version. Let's take some Village Rites out, and let's take some Kaya's Guiles. For starters, we can trim 1 Bitter Blossom as well. I think I'm going to swap the swords. I don't mind having some of these paths here. Probably okay to take a Thoughtseize out as well. That'd be 8. That would be 8. This would be 9 I'm bringing in. Let's think about this. Necromentia is maybe a little bit aggressive. We could take one of those out and be happy probably with this. Deafening Silence there, obviously, for Tibalt. And then I have just the removal package at this point. It should be enough, honestly. I think we're good. Let's find out if it's worth it. 4 Deafening Silences for this matchup. We know what we want to do. I know what I want to do. All right, so opponent's got about 8 ways to get Tibalt in because we assume they're doing the Violent and the Dread Cascade cards. This does not really stop any of that. And I'm not sure I can beat a Tibalt if it resolves. So very good hand, but I think we have to mulligan this, looking for those hate cards. This hand's awful. Easy mulligan. It's not really getting much better, but we do have 2 Inquisitions. 2 Inquisitions makes this a passable hand. We'll try for it. I'm not happy to see the double Inquisition here, as my opponent could do... Oh, now we put 2 gemstones out. Well, they're going to lose one of those. Cool. You don't do that, ever. Ever. Red Prison folks know this. You can't cheat the system. Don't put them both out. Opponent concedes. Shamed. We get a rebuy on our mulligans. Get a rebuy on our mulligans. We're going to just send it back. That was a no game. Feels good. Red Prison, folks. You saw both of them and you're like, ah, we won. Right? All right, 4 lander. We don't really need 4 lands. Lingering, 1 Inquisition. My opponent is starting with 7. Let's mulligan. All right, we have a Necromentia. If my opponent doesn't immediately curve out into it, then we could name it. This is dangerous on the draw. It's dangerous on the draw. I do have a few... I do have a few of the cleansings. I wonder if I'm supposed to go one more here. So here's the big question. Does Necromentia bait us into a place here where I don't get to use this? I'm going to mulligan one more. Necromentia, we've had this happen where then they get the zombies because they have 1 in hand and we lose. Let's mulligan for that cleansing. We're going to find it. Oh, okay. Well, we don't find cleansing, but this is pretty good. We have to mull 2 cards here. Let's keep. Let's get rid of the Bright Climb and Path. Let's do Bright Climb and Stoneforge. No. I want to be able to hit Necromentia. Stoneforge and Path? Alright. We're doing it. We're going to Celestial Purge something. We can get all kinds of basics here as well. We'll hope no Thoughtseize. Good, good, good. That wasn't what I wanted to draw, but that's okay. Little Black Cleave Cliffs, a little Overgrown Tomb. We're gonna do our Valky, Violent Outbursts. The big thing is what 2 cards are they gonna get off the top of both libraries here? Because we can get rid of Tibalt. They get a Dread and we get a Thoughtseize. So they get to Thoughtseize me. Let's find a non-basic here. They are unlikely to play Blood Moon. It's a Skyclave. All right, I think I've got to purge the Tibalt here, even though I want to wait. My opponent can always get a new one. I'm going to try the Necromentia, hopefully. But we'll see if they end up Thoughtseizing me or try to play just another card. If they don't do the Thoughtseize, it's definitely Necromentia and name the Tibalt. They have another. They might try to get something out here. Oh, it's a Blood Moon. Right after I called that they wouldn't play Blood Moon. That's a bit surprising to me. I didn't get the basic because I called for the no Blood Moon. Okay, well, we'll work our way to Batterskull and hope they've forgotten about the Thoughtseize, which they cannot cast now. They also can't cast a Demonic Dread. Oh, that's right, they can with Tibalt. Oh, this is so messed up. Oh my gosh. Takes my Batterskull. Blast Zone for my opponent and a Seasoned Pyromancer. They now have the Demonic Dread. Getting rid of K-Command and Wooded Foothills. Well, this all happened. This all happened. I'm not really sure I can beat this at this point. My opponent gets a Gideon ally of Zendikar and a Seasoned Pyromancer on their side. And these cards are there for forever. We are learning just how painfully broken this is. They've got one of these and a Seasoned Pyromancer. This resets Tibalt. This buys them new cards. I guess I take the one that buys new cards. They'll get Gideon here. Huh. Well, we didn't find our deafening silences, unfortunately. Our opponent goofed up match game 2. They now have Gideon, which they can make a token and then next turn kill me with swinging with everything. Or very close to it, at least. Necromentia didn't come down fast enough. We didn't respect Blood Moon. Have I missed anything? If I have, leave a comment. At least this game was faster than the last one, right? Just end me, opponent. I'm gonna stare at the computer, at this, what did they do? Oh, they exiled everything. I saw stuff move around. It was crazy. You wanna know what happened? They ended us. They played Batterskull. They're the Stoneforge deck now. Gideon making him a 5/5. We just have to nod and accept what fate this has happened to us. Tibalt, you cosmic loony. You're crazy. Anthem effect too. Getting new Tibalt for extra value. We'll see you in match number 4, everyone. Take care. I might not be back. To the Shadow Realm I go. We're back. It's gotten darker. These are dark days among us. We've been banished, exiled to the Shadow Realm. Tibalt just sent us there. We're unsure what we have to do. We have to fight back. It's scary. It's very dark down here. We'll find the light, though. We'll make it. We'll get out of this together. Match 4. Help. Let's find an opponent. We're fearful. Could be another Tibalt. Let's play. Whew. Dangerous times here. Dangerous times. This is... Ooh, Gigantha. Gigantha. Is that Tron? I don't know nowadays. Let's mulligan this. This is too many lands. Not enough tokens. This will work. Okay, we can get rid of a path. Apparently I have 2 types of paths in this list. And we'll just lead with a Thoughtseize here. Off probably Godless Shrine. I'm not sure which side of this I want. More than likely I want the Bright Climb side. But maybe we just want to be dark. It is dark days. However, this is the all-in version. And we have Kaya's Guile. There's hope. There's hope. Temple of Mystery. They don't have anything when we really think about it. Play our snow-covered plains and pass the turn. We have a chance here. Albeit a small one. There's a glimmer. I see it on the horizon. Off in the distance. The light. Will Kaya show us the light? We'll find out soon. Soon. We're going to be passing back and forth. My opponent appears to be the all-in version. We're not going to commit to the board ever. Never ever. Not until we can play Kaya's Guile with whatever we've played. There's the Academy. This is definitely the all-in version. Back and forth the lands are going to go. Not much to commentate. We want to play it, but we can't. We have to be ready to Guile them. Guile makes them sacrifice the big Emrakul. That is the fear that we have. There's a garden. Just a little 0-1. Nothing to worry about. Onward we go. Ooh, another Kaya's Guile. Keep in mind, we can't really do this at any point because my opponent can do this at instant speed. A little afraid of them just casting a Emrakul as well. Tibalt sent us the Dark Realms here. But we have a chance. Small glimmer. A hope. There's a Lingering Souls. I can't do it. I need lands. We're so scared down here in the dark depths. We can always path the Gigantha as well. I'd really like one land here to at least make Kaya's Guile plus path an option. I don't think they've played this one yet. Oh no, that was the other side of that one. Gigantha to hand. Still has 3 mana open. Not worth risking going for it here just yet. Give me the land. We hit the land. We're good. We're good. All right. Playing Magic. Playing oh so much Magic here. All right, Gigantha. Come on into battle. New temple. I wonder if this is the one that sideboards into... If this one's the one that sideboards into... like an Amulet or a Titan style. Oh my gosh, we have so many Kaya's Guiles. We're never gonna lose. Well, we might. Who knows? Going to discard. I'm gonna discard the Lingering Souls. Seems like a reasonable one I can do. We'll probably path this plant here. Well, no, I gotta... Now that I think about it, if they go for this... I'm gonna path that. I have to be careful. They have too many creatures on the battlefield for Kaya's Guile to work right now. We'll go ahead and path the Gigantha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inquisition Thoughtseize. Silent Clearing's okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and play the Stoneforge down and get a sword. I can play this down and attach it. And if I'm able to play it down and attach it, we may be in a good spot here. We need to clear this plant somehow. Land. Nice. All right. We will pass here with the intention to put sword into play. We do have 2 Kaya's Guiles worth, though. We can get rid of the plant and do something else as well. Because they're not going for it here, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to put the sword into play. Nice. A little bit risky there, not having 2 Kaya's Guiles open. Let's go ahead and attach and attack. I feel okay to attack here. We'll see. I want this to connect, and if this connects, I can fire off a Kaya's Guile to get rid of this plant. Perfect. We'll go to untap here. Then we'll go to discard. And I'll fire off a Kaya's Guile to get rid of the plant. We'll go ahead and get rid of their creature and give myself a 1/1 here. And I don't think we have to do anything else from here on out. We're good. Go ahead, opponent. They could get like back-to-back Emrakuls, which would be rough. But we'll see. We'll see. I think we're going to be okay. Forgotten Cave. They're not cycling anything either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're looking to just hardcast. Hardcast and Emrakul. That's what they want to do. Okay. End step. We'll hit them for 4. Extra land's nice. Extra land lets me use village rights if I'd like to. Attack for some damage. Really, we're just going to attack from here on out. There's nothing else I want to do here. Oh, we're paying for something. We're paying. Deep breath. What are they gonna, what are they? Nothing? Okay. Sword trigger. I don't even care if they put an Emrakul into their yard. Wooded foothills. And we'll just pass back. Go ahead, opponent. Land played. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't think I want to fire off the Field of Ruin here to see if they have a land, a basic. We're just going to take it easy here. Godless Shrine. We are killing them very slowly with the Spirit and the Stoneforge. Very little reason to commit anything to the board here. Swing, go. Discard another card. I guess it doesn't do much because of the Academy, which is nice. We're ready. What are we getting? Violent Outburst into. Tibalt's Trickery into. We can check. Yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing going on here. Emrakul. Cast. Get an extra turn here. All right, so they're going to get an extra turn. We're going to go ahead and make them sacrifice here. I'm going to make them sacrifice... What do we have? 1 Emrakul? There's 2 Emrakuls. Let's make them sack and exile. I think we get the Emrakul if I do it this way. Yeah. I don't really need another creature necessarily. Now my opponent gets another turn here after discarding. Again, Academy's preventing any problems here from them. I think I kind of want to go ahead and fire off this to get rid of this Academy. And just be pretty happy with doing that. They'll get a turn and another turn here if I recall. So this is turn 1 for them, and then they'll get an extra turn. Yeah, they're on extra turn here. And then this is their normal turn. Plays a land. It's another Academy. Okay. Beating through the Emrakuls. There is light here at the end of the tunnel. Uh-oh. Wait, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think they have 14. I don't think they quite have 15. So if they drew Emrakul, they're going to need a top deck untapped land here. Plus this is a Wooded Foothills. They'd have to fetch with this. Our turn. Go to combat. There are no other actions to take. I guess at this point I could put a Lingering Souls down here. Make them discard. Lingering Souls means it's lethal next turn, because I only have 1 Kaya's Guile here. Sorin's lethal next turn too. Let's just do the Lingering Souls and pass. Probably a few ways to close the door one extra turn early, but with the Kaya's Guile, I'm feeling fairly safe. One card in my opponent's hand. Up to 2. Forgotten Cave. And concedes. Nice. What was that? A little bit of light at the end of the tunnel? Huh. Interesting. Deafening Silence and Necromencias are going to come in here. Realistically, we don't need to worry about having probably Path, although my opponent could move themselves into a list where they're now having the Titan. I'm going to take some Village Rites out here. I think a Gideon can be taken out, maybe even one Sorin. We're just going for the Deafenings and the Necromencias. That's the plan here, leaving all the Guiles in. I don't see much else to bring in or to change. Game plan, stop Tibalt's trickery. All right, we have a Thoughtseize. We do have Giganta, I guess, to worry about. So we have Thoughtseize here. My opponent's mulliganing to 6. I'm going to risk it a little bit here because the Thoughtseize could take the card unless they have the Academy, the Academy that puts the cards back into their hand. Nope. All right, just a garden. Thoughtseize away. Let's go. So Thoughtseize will take. We have a Mutavault. We have the Pathway, some Tranquil Thickets, Wooded Foothills. We're just gonna have to go as fast as we can here. Might even fetch Basic just to minimize the number of lands I could draw. Play Batterskull, play the other sword, smash in. We gotta end this game fast. Never mind. What is ending game fast? Well, Deafening Silence comes down before anything else because we want to stop a future violent outburst. We're good. All right. I feel safe. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Cycles a Tranquil Thicket. Next up, Stoneforge. Mutavault for our opponent. Maybe put Giganta to hand? They do. And in for 0. All right, pretty easy Stoneforge. We can go get the sword. Godless Shrine tapped, pass turn. Sword's really good here against Giganta as well. So we got that going for us. Another temple. This Mutavault was played. Okay, have we beat the all-in version? That would be good. Uh-oh, we're doing something. They cycle a Triome. Okay. Let's go ahead and get one of our basics here. Go ahead and just put the Batterskull in, Living Weapon, all the good stuff, pass turn. Idea here is that next turn I just sword and attach. And then I can start smacking in with a relatively large germ. Protection from Giganta, protection from plant. Okay, Giganta in play. Extra Deafening Silence is super nice here. We're going to use the Stoneforge to put the sword in for cheap. We're going to attach. And then we can put the Deafening Silence because we haven't cast anything. And then we get to hit for 6 here. Get to untap and make them discard. We have 2 Deafening Silences, so they'll need something like a Maelstrom Pulse. It's looking pretty good. Temple down. Now they could block with a Mutavault. Something my opponent can do for a turn. So they buy themselves an extra turn. Each scry has pretty much been to the bottom, by the way. New Stoneforge. There's not really anything from the Stoneforge to go get. And I don't think I want to convert the germ over to something else, but I could make it a skyclave apparition. And the idea here is that by making it a skyclave apparition, it's exactly 8. So let's go ahead and play the skyclave apparition with the idea that I could theoretically move these both over and kill them next turn. But we would have had to move the sword over there. Well, this is probably okay with the blast zone now. Blast zone's interesting. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boots up Mutavault, 1, 2 pump on blast zone. I don't think I want to go all in on this. Boots up Mutavault. Boots up. 1, 2. Puts this to 3. Sword and this dies. They can also do this on here. They haven't played the Wooded, and the Pathway are still in hand, it looks like. The Pathway's down here. The Wooded is not. So we have one unknown card here. I think I'm going to go for this and see if they want to go ahead and pop this. And if they do, I'm going to just move everything over to the Stoneforge. They should see that the Mutavault protects here, but we'll test to see if they see that. This also is one less land to deal with in the future. So Mutavault booted up. We'll F6 now because this is obviously blocking. And Blast Zone should go up to 3 unless they think they can win off the Deafening Silence kill here. 3 would get rid of the Skyclave and the sword. It allows me to make this big enough to battle Gigantha. Yes, this is going up to 3. Oh, I like this. I like this activation with the Mutavault. I like that. All right, up to 3. So our turn's going to be Batterskull over here and attack probably. Oh, another Blast Zone. That's pretty bad for us. 1, 2, 3 and activate, and then 1, 2, 3 activate. Ooh, this game's close. Lingering Souls are super good here. Let's attack here with a Skyclave. This forces the Blast Zone here. By moving Batterskull over, I'm not going to connect with the sword here, probably. And then I wouldn't get to use Lingering Souls. So they blow everything up. They don't get anything. I'm going to put stuff into the air here, which is good for us. I don't see a reason to put down the other Stoneforge. I'd rather give myself an option to bounce Batterskull here. This is a close one. This is a close one. Wooded Foothills is finally played. 2 cards for my opponent. I see very little reason not to go ahead and bounce the Batterskull. Maybe they kill the Stoneforge in response to this. But this will be... And we... 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They killed the Deafening Silences. Wooded Foothills. Uh-oh. Even if we're taking the turn to just attach here, maybe tapping out gave them the freedom to go for this. Now they get an Emrakul. Tibalt Trickery. A couple swings with Emrakul kills me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 spirit here. We take 15. Looks like they got us. We can't leave ourselves with just one cleansing out because of Blast Zone too. Yeah, this will do it because they attack me for another Emrakul hit and I can't prevent this. Now if I attack for just one or even two. All right, opponent gets us. Maybe it's getting a little darker again. It's darker again. It's looking dangerous, everyone. All right. Let's get rid of the Unleashed here. Let's bring in a Purge. No, let's get a Path because I can get rid of the Mutavaults. I think I want another sword here as well. Just as another option to go get with a Stoneforge. And let's get rid of a... Honestly, Skyclave just didn't seem to do anything there. Cool. All right. It's gotten dark again. Tibalt is over top, tricking us. Let's play first. Looking for Inquisitions, Thought Seizes, and Cleansings. The Deafening, Silence Cleansings. We'll keep. This works. We also have a Kaya's Guile here. We have no threat. No immediate threat. Silence makes me feel safer to try to deploy threats as soon as I find them. Here we go. Let's make it happen. I wonder if I try to use Kaya's Guile as one of those threats. I have a feeling their only way to get rid of this is a Blast Zone. With that knowledge, let's wait. Let's wait on this next one. I almost need a Pithy Needle to stop Blast Zones for just this scenario. And Pithy Needle wouldn't be bad for just normal Tibalt as well. We're going all in here. We're going to probably just slam a Sorin and make a creature. Fingers crossed, Deafening Silence doesn't disappear here. Temple. So I feel safe to do Sorin if Blast Zone's their only way to get rid of this. And let's just make a creature. Get things going. Gotta end this game. I'd love a land here so I can attach Sword, have Kaya's Guile open, and attack. There's the Blast Zone. Oh, snap. All right, we're gonna leave Kaya's Guile open no matter what. We do hit land, so that's good for us. I think we attach here. Do we attach? Maybe I don't attach. So I have a path open as well. I don't know. I like having path here. They could Blast Zone and then they could put the garden down and then I can't get rid of the little plant. And then we have the Guile. I like this. I like this line completely. I think it's a lot better than the other line. Let's go ahead and make another zombie or another vampire and swing for 2. No rush. Let's not get overzealous here. We have a removal plus Guile. That's what we want. Down to 15 they go. Looking for that land. Looking for that land. Maybe they'll try to trickery this too. You don't know. Oh gosh, feel dead. Get out of here. No one wanted you anyway. Okay. Another Kaya's Guile. I would love for an extra land here. This is 6, 12, 18. If I attach this, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because of the Field of the Dead, I'm afraid of another land here being what would protect them from a Guile. We'll hit them for 6 instead. This takes them to 9. I can always boot up the sword and put it on and do the additional 4 here. I think we've played this correctly. It may be dark out, but I'm feeling good. There it is. They make the zombie. Oh, they're not doing anything. Path doesn't really do a lot here. Okay, here we go. Blows up, deafening silence. Here's where they spin. We have to, this is perfect. This is perfect. We did it all right. We need them to not have another hit here, or another violent outburst after this one. Okay, it's Ulamog. It's a tough one, but it doesn't repeat here. And I believe I can path this. They get rid of Soren and Fire and Ice. Okay. These are flying. I think I can path Ulamog. Am I pathing Ulamog or I've... Do I make them sack a creature? It might be just sack a creature here. Sacks a creature and we create a 1/1. They'll sacrifice probably like zombie here. So now I have 5 damage in the air. So this is 5. What's the best course of action here? If I deafening silence, they have exactly Blast Zone. Deafening silence. They play Blast Zone 1, 2, 3. They can then Violent again and get an Emrakul. If I deafening silence, they would need exactly Blast Zone to get out of that. Let's play deafening silence here. Oh, well, we get it. So we have deafening silence here. I guess they're conceding because they have probably no way to do this again. It's a little bit of an early concede. We play deafening silence here. We pass the turn. On our next turn, we're drawing a Lingering Souls, but on their turn, I have to either Kaya's Guile or Path. I can't do both. There is an argument to trying to do Path here, but basically what I'm trying to do is set it up so that whatever they play, if they put a Blast Zone down and then they do for Emrakul, I have to probably Path. And then when they attack me, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and I leave myself with 2 vampires. So my opponent may not be able to attack me. So there you have it. We took down the trickery. 2-2. Final match coming up. What's that? It's so bright. Did we do it? We beat Tibalt? We did it. We beat his tricks. He's still lingering out there, though, in the cosmos. I can feel his energy. That's okay. We got this. We're back. It's dark times for sure. Whew, black-white tokens. What match is this? Match 14? 37? 42? Match 5? All right. Match 5 here. Let's find this opponent. It's daylight now. It's a good feeling. Let's see if we can take down one more Tibalt. Why am I even asking for that? Match 5 found. Opponent. Let's go. Let's win. 2-2 overall. Looking for that final win. Black-white tokens. Starting hand looks good. Removal. Inquisition. Got a top end here. 3 mana. Let's keep. On the draw. My opponent does mulligan to 6 here. Let's see what they've got for us. Let's see what they've got for us. Down to 5 now. Down to 5 and keeps 5. We're happy with our 5. All right. City of Brass. This could be ad nauseum. Find ourselves another Bitter Blossom. Let's try to take the least amount of damage. Oh my gosh. What has happened? All right, we'll take a Violent Outburst. There are 2 Ardent Pleas over there. We have a Pillar. I guess we'll go ahead and play the Bitter Blossom. My opponent could miss lands for 1,000 years. Bitter Blossom played, pass turn. This may tell them that they have a Deafening to deal with at some point. All right, Ardent Plea. Let's see what kind of version of Tibalt this is. The day is light. Ardent Plea, we are asking for simple things. Tibalt Trickery spinning. There are a lot of things they could hit. Omni, Simian, all kinds of stuff. We'll see what they hit. Oh, they missed. I didn't see what they hit, but they missed. Doesn't matter. Let's smash them. Bitter Blossom, Bitter Blossom. Go ahead, opponent. We also have Path here, which is sweet because it can get rid of like the Ulamog. They're going to spin again. They did have another one. Didn't keep up the hand, but we basically know it's another Ardent Plea. Playing the Ultimatums, the Ardent Pleas, Tibalt's Trickeries. We can hit Simian Spirit Guides. They're a little less all-in. We've seen it all from Tibalt today. Ardent Plea spins the wheel. Finds themselves a Tibalt Trickery. Tibalt Trickery reveals a Brilliant Ultimatum, it looks like. Brilliant Ultimatum, exile top 5 of your library. And an opponent separates these, and we choose into 2 piles. You may play lands and cast spells from one of those piles. Dang it. I think I want to give them like this. Sort of hate this. Let's split the Titans. This is very good. This Brilliant Ultimatum. My opponent can hit Simian Spirit Guides off Trickery. They're taking that risk. The hope is almost that they go for the Ulamog here, because I can exile this with Path. I can't quite exile this one. Although I've given them another Brilliant Ultimatum too. My fear is that we're going to do Ulamog into something, but I don't know if I can deal with it just an Emrakul killing me a bunch. They decide Emrakul. There you go. Emrakul should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Emrakul attacks. We go to 3 and then 0. We can go ahead and concede, but I'll let them spin the wheel and play some more. Why not? Why not? It's getting dark again. I think we've overpowered, though. We're okay, I think. Now they get a Kozilek here, too. Kozilek plus Emrakul is enough. There you go. There you go. All right. Clear that what we need to do is Deafening Silences and Necromencias. Necromencia is going to be for Tibalt, obviously. We can keep Paths in. Village Rites are gone. Skyclaves hit just about nothing here except Simian Spirit Guide. We can swap the sword out, or we actually keep both swords. Gideon's probably no good. The Unleashed, no good. Honestly, I can probably just take a Sorin out as well. Really, we just want Deafenings and Necromencias. We know what we're doing. We're trimming some of the stuff that doesn't do anything immediately and adding things that allow us this lower curve to punch in at my opponent. With that, game 2. Let's go. We know what we got to beat. All right, we have a Necromencia. My opponent is playing a Simian Spirit Guide list, though, and I don't have double black, so this one's probably a mulligan. We have plenty of cards to find. There we go. We have the Kaya's Guile, we have the Inquisition, we have the Deafening. We're going to keep. We'll get rid of Batterskull. Hand looks pretty good. I wonder if they play Blood Moon. With the Pillars and the Ardent Pleas, I'm guessing no. But I'll probably fetch Basic. Because it's dangerous out there. Don't go alone. Tibalt is wrecking people. We'll see how many ways they have to get out of the deafening silence. I'm assuming something like pulse is a thing they have. I'm not even gonna check for something that gets rid of this. Silence down first. Is that enough? Do we win? Kaya's Guile's a little worse against this version. So we've played Tibalt, Cosmic, All In, Tibalt Trickery, and now this is the one that Kaya's Guile is not going to do as much damage to my opponent because they might have multiple creatures out. Now we can kill the Emrakul or the first creature, but if they get a second one off Brilliant Ultimatum, we're kind of toast. Deafening Silence. Opponent's considering their first turn here. Take that, Tibalt. Take that. We'll submit back. There's nothing for us to do. We'll see if they've forgotten to bring something in from the sideboard and are now bringing in that hate piece, that Maelstrom Pulse. That's what I would assume it is. Could be anything, though. Something that destroys enchantments. Here we go. Final game, final match here. So we've got some Kaya's Guiles. We have a Thoughtseize here. No Deafening Silence. If my opponent does not spin into something too crazy, the Guiles could be worthwhile. I'm going to keep. No. Yes. No. I don't want to keep. I want that Deafening Silence. Let's go ahead and keep. I want the Deafening Silence, but I want to give this Guile a shot here. My opponent's mulled to 6, mulled to 5. We do need to get here on about turn 3 for Guile to be useful. We'll hope they don't have Simian Spirit Guide, and hope they don't hit exactly Emrakul. All right, they've kept 5. I'm assuming land and something else. Pillar. Definitely gonna Thoughtseize. There's no other option here. Thoughtseize, what are we taking? We get a Violent, and there's an Ardent Plea. There is a Blast Zone, so it's good that I didn't go for the Deafening Silence. We learned from earlier. Aether Hub gives me the turn back. I don't have anything for the Ardent Plea. Here they go. We do have Path. That gives me something here. There's a Blast Zone. Here's the Plea, I assume. Or are they going to hesitate? Don't hesitate, just go. Please away. Trickery. Finds Trickery very quickly here. Whole library's ahead of them. Trickery into Ulamog, which gives them... Oh no, Ulamog spins. They hit a Brilliant Ultimatum. That's awful. I mean, I just split Emrakul, but I died Emrakul for 2 hits here. Well, there you go. This has protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. If I get the extra turn here, Kaya's Guile gets to kill the Emrakul. This is turn 3. It's a turn 3 kill. Well, there you have it. Opponent gets us 2-3 overall with the black-white tokens. Tibalt's Trickery has bested us 1-1, and Cosmic Tibalt has bested us 0-1 in our league. After all, it was fun, but these are dark days. Signing out. We'll see you later. Two, 3 black-white tokens. Black-white tokens in Modern. List is sweet. We ended up running into the gambit of Tibalt lists, and I don't think you can leave without a Deafening Silence. Now, one thing that we've noted His Deafening Silence definitely buys us some time, but a lot of these lists are playing Blast Zone to get around this. Might be worth bringing in some Pithy Needles, as that also hits the Tibalt list that we have a little bit more trouble with. That is the Jund one, the Cosmic Tibalt. Overall, I've enjoyed the list. I think, honestly, with the amount of cards that we're seeing, you potentially could run Deafening Silence main, but I like the Village Rites here. Maybe take one Bitter Blossom out for a Deafening Silence main, free up a little bit of the sideboard for that Pithy Needle. List is pretty sweet though, it interacts really nice, and I think against the all-in version, even that last one, Kaya's Guile could have gotten us out of that final game. If we were able to get one more mana there and be on the play, that Emrakul comes down and we end up getting rid of it. From there, who knows what my opponent would eventually find, but it would give us that chance at the game. As always, it's been my pleasure to play these lists for you. Please consider liking and subscribing, it supports the channel. And until next time, everyone, have a good one, be safe, and we'll see you in the next matches.